Morgan. We already introduced him earlier, but I just want to thank all those guys for coming today. And we're going to take 5 minutes. All right, so if you need to use the restroom, the men's restroom is this way. Castine, yours is that way. All right, so 5 minutes. Make sure you're back in your seats, though. All right, stretch your legs out, get some coffee, donuts, whatever you need. All right, we're going to go ahead and start back up. So before I turn it over to Mike, I wanted to have Steve come up. Steve is going to talk a little bit about the camp. For those that haven't signed up, if you're interested, I will tell you, session 2 right now is pretty much full. We will wait list now, but session 1 we still have some spots. The dates again, June 28th, 29th for session 1. And then June 30, July 1 for session 2. All right, if you've already sent your stuff in, I've got it, okay? If you want to check with me, that's fine. I'll be glad to, I can look it up when I have access to internet, and I can shoot you a note saying, yeah, you're good. I'll probably already know whether you're good or not. So another email will come out mid-May about the camp, and I wanted to let Steve talk a little bit about the camp, talk about some of the guests that we have coming, some of the speakers that we have coming, and go from there. So Stevie?
You got it. Thank you, Scott. Pretty exciting time for us, and exciting time for you guys as well. This is a great program that you've got here, which I think will pay dividends for you, not only this summer, but in the future. One of the things that we talk about with our camp is that exact same investment in your future. If you're already signed up, we appreciate that. If you're not, or you know people that would be interested, it is a 3-person teaching camp. One of the nice parts is some of the relationships over many, many years that I've established. We got some great people coming in. We have some of the top flight officials in the country. Tim Comer will be there. Roger Ayers will be there. The supervisor and the one who's taken over just about everything east of the Mississippi, Brian Kersey, will be there as well. So from the standpoint of not necessarily looking to get hired, but looking for input from those that are working right now, observing right now, and assigning right now at the highest levels of college basketball, they will be there. And so getting that kind of input from the top flight officials in the country, we feel like is a great sort of a cherry on top, because our staff, and that is our organization, guys who have established themselves, are working on a high school level, many are working college games as well, will be there to observe and assist and just simply try and help you to get better. We'll do a lot of video review. We will analyze every single game. You'll have CDs to carry back with you. If you haven't seen yourself on tape and film, you'll be shocked at what you look like, because it's not necessarily good or bad. It's just that normally our perception of what we look like, how we react and respond, and what we do is completely different from the way we actually seem. So again, it's an education, but on top of that, I think it's a great learning experience for everybody. I've always said many, many times, and when we get involved and we teach, every time you teach, you learn, and it's a wonderful thing. So it goes both ways. But for any of you that haven't signed up, that think it would be beneficial for you, any of those that you know in the association you might be working with now in the spring, please tell them, especially for the Friday, Saturday. It's going to be jam-packed. Oh, and I forgot, I just spoke with Curtis Blair from the NBA. Curtis will be there as well. And Curtis is actually tied up at a camp in Richmond with his son. He coaches at a school in Richmond, Stewart School, yeah. And so he's going to be tied up at that camp, but he said, Steve, I will make time to get away to come observe and speak to the group. So that's a terrific thing, an active NBA official, a playoff official in the NBA. Again, just to give you more input, more influence, and more information to simply help you get better. So if you have the opportunity, you can sign up. For those that already signed up, we thank you. But it's going to be a great experience, real positive experience, and something we feel like can really lay a base for you to continue to improve over the years to come.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
And like Steve said, it's a teaching camp. If you're looking to get hired, don't come. We're not hiring anyone. We're teaching you, which is good. Most of the staff will be from RERC. We do have some other people coming from around the state, some other state officials and the signers. Doug DeVault will be there. Somebody said, oh, well, this sounds like a Cardinal camp. And I said, we're basically teaching the rest of the state how to teach. And they said, oh, well, you don't think the rest of the state knows how to teach? I said, look, we had 42 state assignments this year, all right? And I'm not going to apologize for the fact that we know how to teach, all right? We have 73 people that were promoted in the last 3 years. I'm not going to apologize for the fact that we know how to teach. So now let's take that and show other people how they can get better as well. So good environment. I hope you can make it. And if it doesn't work out and you want to go to other camps or maybe the dates don't work out, ask Irv and I. We have some other relationships with some other places. If you're looking for a teaching camp, or you're looking for a more advanced camp. I know Danny's going up to Mark Lindsay's camps June 7th, right? So, there's plenty of opportunities out there. We have relationships all across the landscape. So, without further ado, the reason why most of you came. So, I will say he's definitely the best interpreter in the state of Virginia. Adam will also say that he's the best best interpreter in Northern Virginia. So, those are both good accolades, I think. In all seriousness, Mike's going to go through some video clips and go through some teaching on, when to go outside your area. So, the best interpreter in Virginia. Mike?
Okay. All right. Thanks, Scott. So let's take a look. Let's compare two clips and discuss them. Here's clip one. Maybe you remember this from this year's NCAA tournament. Anybody remember this play?
Yes.
All right.
Terry Oglesby popped the whistle to stop play. He and Tim Clougherty. Turner. Free throws are coming from Bohannon.
In no way was this a foul. In no way.
And the only thing they could look at was whether it was a 2 or a 3.
Oh, no.
Okay. First of all, we've got a signaling issue here. He's right. That's a clean block. I know he's right, but what does this mean? Defensive tip into the backcourt. In other words, it's telling our partner, don't call a backcourt violation because the ball was tipped by the defense, okay? Now, he's right. This is a clean block, but the reason we don't want to do this is we have one official doing this and the other official doing this, okay, which he actually didn't do because he didn't like his call as soon as he blew his whistle. But then we decided to double down on it.
Foul has been called. The officials came together. Terry,
For a clean block, we don't do anything. Yeah.
Even more so.
Don't do it. Just don't do it.
and that right there,
The thing that hurts turn on that.
So, if we run it back just one more time, okay? It's this official here is going to have a foul.
To work and more good.
Here's Garza out. Bohannon for 3. Had blocked. Turner. And a foul.
Okay, keep that in mind. And compared to this, if I can find my... One more time. he does not have a foul here. He's giving a 3-point indicator, okay? Are we okay with this call? I'll slow it down for you. Okay, and then, of course, the ball comes up well short, okay? Can you see that that's a foul? Okay. What's the difference between the two clips?
The angle that the C had.
The angle, exactly, okay? And where the shooter gets hit, okay, relative to where the official is positioned. It's going to be very, very, very hard for this official here to be able to see this contact, even if he gets lower. Okay. Now, here I am. What do I have to be watching in my primary? Him? What's he gonna do? Okay? What's he gonna do? He can't hurt me. Okay? So, if anything, I should be extending to here to watch this screen and to protect this shooter here so that when he gets hit on the upper arm here, it's not that hard. I have the look, and I have the better look than he does there, right? Does everyone see that? Now, if we go back to the first clip, sorry. Who has the better look?
Let him do some more stuff. Get more cool. There's guards it out.
Okay. He's got the better look, and it's just on his side of the floor, right? Okay. So, plus, he has some other active matchups that he can be watching, right? So, when he's under the shooter here, ideally we want to be under the shooter. We can't always do it, but most of the time we can if we're working hard. He's got the angle here, okay? It's not like he's getting hit on this side. So, there are three things to remember. You have to know your angle. You have to know your partner's angle, which is a bit more advanced, but not as hard as you might think as you, and then the third issue is we want to look for that, what I call the strike right down the middle, okay? When it's right there, you can see it clearly plain as day. So we'll go to some other clips here. And in the same game where we were, that other official, when I called across the floor there, that was Matt Oblas, if anyone knows who that is. His first words out of his mouth as we were switching across the floor was, "Thank you," okay, because he knew that we need, and when you start working as a team out there, it's great. Matt did the same thing for me later in the game. Now here I am, I'm beat. I can't get back in time, okay? I'm like, oh, I'm screwed. But I don't have to guess here, okay? I'm staring at his back, but there's no pressure on me to guess because who has the open look? The C on the other side of the floor. In two-person, we've got pressure to guess here, okay? I'm like, I don't have to guess here. I'm covered. And sure enough, Matt's got it. Okay? Now, what's the other thing that Matt did here? He ran in, okay, so that by the time you look at him, oh, he's right there. He's right on top of it. He looks good, okay? Another thing that can help you when you come out of your primary.
You said thank you, Mark?
Yes, I did. Yeah, if this were to play on, I believe I give him a thumbs up here. Right there. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so where do we get ourselves into trouble? Clip 1. Okay, run it back. Who's got this? C, okay? All right, and he's got a blocking foul here, okay? Now, I think if we're being honest here, this is about as obvious a charge as you're going to see. Is this something where we want to come out of our primary here? Okay? No, we don't need to help the C on this. We really don't. He needs to go up with a fist, and now he's looking at the floor thinking, oh, geez. Same game. All right, is that foul? No. Okay, again, whose is this? C. Okay, they got the look, everything. Do we need to come help on this? Does the lead have a better angle on this, especially when we're this wide, when we're just outside the O? No, we don't. Okay, what do the two clips also have in common? What is the lead doing? Okay, more specifically, yeah, those two answers are correct, but more specifically, the lead is calling across the lane, okay? Your call accuracy is almost guaranteed to go down when you call across the lane. I won't tell you never call across the lane, but don't call across the lane. So, unfortunately, I'm not immune to this. I was convinced I was right, but if we were to look at this, is this a foul? Okay, we'll slow it down. Certainly, is it an obvious? I don't really think it is. I think he's getting ball. Can we maybe, if we're really being pro-official, say that maybe he nicked him on the wrist? Maybe. But, you know, is it an obvious foul? And is the more relevant question, is there any way that I can really see that from the lead? No. There's not an obvious foul. You know, maybe a front side hit to the stomach or something, I could see that. Okay? There's a reason why he doesn't have a whistle here. He has the best look at it, yes.
Do you feel like you had to pick it up because the C was a little bit on the target side getting up the court? Or you didn't
Yeah, I like that excuse, yeah. Yeah. That's exactly why. He put pressure on me because he was out of position. No. He's not that far out of position, to be honest. And let me just say this. What I do here and what that official was doing in those previous two clips is one of the most demoralizing things you can do to your partners. Okay? When you have the A look and someone with the C look comes and gets a foul, when you know it's not a foul, it's demoralizing and it's irritating. Your partner may not be trying to be irritating, but it's irritating nonetheless. It really hurts crew dynamics. And what it can also do is then force your partner to start thinking, well, I must be missing something, so I got to get stuff. And then it just snowballs, which is what happened in that previous game. You can just see the game snowballs because everybody's calling outside their primary. Okay? So you got to know, do I have the A look? And does my partner not have the look? Do they need help? Okay, and is it the strike right down the middle? So, good to come out of our primary here? Move ahead a bit. One more time.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's got the best look? C, or even the trail. Okay. So this is one thing that we really need to, even though this is Leeds primary, this is why Adam and Bill really like working with this official, because he's a great play caller. Sees the push off. Look, that's right in front of the lead, but we need to protect the lead's backside as trail and center, okay? And that's one thing you should be actively looking to do, okay? That's a good know your partner's angle and know what angle you have and come out of your primary. Protect the lead's backside. All right, so one last clip to break down.
They lead by 14.
What I want you to do is put yourself in my shoes here as the C. I'm right here. What do I have to watch right now? Anything? No. I really don't. Okay. Okay, what about now? Anything here? Anyone here who can hurt me? No? Okay. Anything at all that I can pick up? Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So white 0 is going to pass off. I'm looking for something. Okay. I think David talked about don't just be reactive, be proactive. Okay. So I want to be looking for stuff. Okay. I just don't want to be staring stupidly. I want to be what can I come and find to maybe be helpful. Okay. Okay. So I should be watching this right here. Okay. Okay? Everybody see what he just did there? Threw the forearm into his chest and drove him back. Now, so if we let this play through, watch 0.
Now we got a whistle of offensive foul.
Okay?
Now we got a whistle of offensive. Offensive foul.
Why did the lead not have a whistle there? A couple things happened, I think. At the exact moment that this happened, this player is going to cut across very rudely in front of him. Okay, he doesn't have a perfectly open angle here, but I think he could still have a fighting chance if this player doesn't cut in front of him right at the last second, okay? So am I just going to say, well, it's okay for him to take a shot to the chest? No, if I've got the open look, okay, I'm going to come get it. But let me just caution you about one more thing. If your whistle is too quick, when your partner has a chance to come get it, that can also throw off crew dynamics, okay? So, is my whistle here just a split second late?
Now we got a whistle of offensive foul.
Yeah, and that's what I want to do there, okay? Yeah.
go back to right before the foul call.
Sure.
Kind of starting to run the puck up. I think what would help the lead there is if he got wider.
Yeah.
All play on that side of the court. Concept of working outside in.
Yes.
If he got wider, he might have been able to get that.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. That's Patrick, by the way. Did you have a problem with that? Pat. Yeah.
That must have been after you were with me and Biggie B.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Any questions? Everyone sort of got this. So know your angle, know your partner's angle, be proactive, don't be reactive, look for stuff where you can help out, and don't call across the lane. Okay? All right. Good luck out there.
All right, now's a good time to maybe get your pens out. I'm going to go through some terminology and some of these clips that you're going to see. I'm going to go through trail positioning and some specifics, and then you're going to. By the way, you're going to see a lot of this game. But anyway, and then Irv's going to go through center, and then Adam's going to go through lead, and then we'll go through with some last-minute things to think about and have some Q&A for you guys. So, first thing I want you to think about, a few of these clips in the beginning are going to talk about specifically being sideline-oriented. All right. So I'm going to call on somebody that hasn't been to SCP yet. Castine, can you tell me what sideline-oriented might mean? Staying wide. Yeah. So if I take this, just draw this play here. If I'm trail here, okay, and we have a matchup and there's a drive to the basket, what we tend to do is we tend to follow behind it because we're told, oh, make sure that you stay close to the play, right? And then if you have a foul, you want to come running in. But I have the same angle here that I have if I'm just standing in one place. So what am I really going to be able to help my lead or my center? Whereas if I come here, okay, and stay wide, I can at least help up top when we get to the basket on the left arm. Okay, whereas if I'm here, I can't really help. The other thing that you're going to see is if we have a situation where we have a steal, okay, the first thing that we end up trying to do is trail when we have to run to lead. So when we have to get down here to lead, okay, the first thing we do is we get out of the way, all right? Well, when you get out of the way, guess who passes you? And then now you're trailing the play. That wasn't Mike's situation. Mike was in the middle of trying to step down on a play and it got stolen. But in this video, you're going to see, I'm going to have a clip here that's going to show you that. So first of all, let's just look at this clip here. I want you to watch the trail, what he's doing. Now pause it here, Mike. All right. Why did he come over here and he was following the ball and now he's kind of realized, oh, I better look off ball. But really what's going on here that he can't do from over here? Okay. The other thing is, guess what the lead's getting ready to do? Rotate. Go ahead. There goes the lead. Now we're almost in the way of the player coming around the outside. And there's really no play to look at here except for the fact of our positioning. All right, let's go to the next clip. Pause it. All right, so he was inside. What happens when the air ball and now we have a breakaway? What's the first thing he did? He went wide to get out of the way. Well, he backpedaled, all right, and we all know backpedaling is not good right now. And then he got wide, and now he's trailing the play. Could he see that foul? So if Mike backs it up just a little bit, to Mike's point, where he had to trust Matt to come in and get it, Winfred could have come and gotten this play. Okay. Now, does he guess right? Don't know. But I can tell you that if I was the coach, I'd be like, "How you can't even see that?" So we got to make sure we put ourselves in the best position. All right, go ahead. All right, we're almost in the way again. All right, we got to be careful of that. That's the theme of this. All right, pause this for a second. Now I want to show you why it's important to stay wide. Okay, and even after a rotation, you don't necessarily need to bump out. You want to stay where you can see the play. All right, here Alex does a very good job of staying on top of the play as it goes down to the corner. The rotation comes. He doesn't need to go. He stays here, and now he's able to pick this play up, albeit late, but he picks it up. And why doesn't the lead get this, do you think? He's reacting, right? He's not really paying attention because, right, rewind it back. I want you to watch his head. See, he kind of went down like this. You gotta have big picture officiating, okay? And the way, you see where he is? How do you get big picture officiating and lead? Get deeper, get wider. I'm taking a little bit away from Adam, but you want to get to a place where you can see everything. All right, go ahead. All right, pause it. This is a play where instead of stepping towards the basket or towards the play, we're stepping away. And I want you to just look how bad this looks. Go ahead. We're backpedaling. And I think Alex can take this play. Probably a play we didn't need to call. All right, now we're throwing marginal calls into a game. All right, now rewind this back. You're going to have to go in slow motion here. This is advanced officiating, and I don't expect you guys to understand this, but if you ever watch officiating, you're going to hear this thing called hook and hold, right? Hook and hold. So if we rewind it back, white 12's left arm is going to come underneath this player's arm and is going to pull it down, and that's what the foul call is that Alex has. Go ahead. Arm underneath, pulls it down so he can't reach his arm up, and he's got the foul. Now the Tuscarora fans don't like the call because they think it's against their etiquette, but all right. Meanwhile, Al, the coach, knows. We got big fans at Tuscarora right now. All right, pause this. One thing I will tell you, this is a game where Joel, is that McAndrew? No, that's Irv, and Marvin are on the game. Sorry. I really want you to pay attention to the mechanics of their positioning, especially on rotations. Joel has really sound fundamental mechanics from trail, okay? So if you go ahead and just watch this through. We're going to watch a couple of their clips. See how close he's in? Pause it. See how he's refereeing on his front foot? It's almost exaggerated, but he's refereeing on his front foot. Why is he doing that? What's that? He wants to stay engaged with the play. You referee on your front foot because we need you to be on the backside to help with rebounding. We don't need you backing out. We saw what that looked like, right? We're backing out and calling a foul. No, we want you engaged. We want you on your front foot. In lead, you can be on your back foot because we want you to take the play towards you. And then if there's a foul, you can go, I don't like that one. All right, keep going. Again, I want you to pay attention to the rotation here. There goes Irv. Notice how Marvin stays with the play. He doesn't back out right away, and now he goes. Another rotation. Joel stays with the play. He doesn't give up what we call angle integrity. Keep your angle. Now he can back out and referee the play as needed. Pause it. One problem, what do we see here? Two guys counting. So Marvin or Joel, one of them just needed to, out of their eyesight, make sure that only one was picking it up. It happens when we go back and forth across the top. All it is a quick peek. It's a quick peek. All right, go ahead. Guy liked the call. Got a fan there. Look how far Joel comes down in trail. He's basically at the top of the key. He's engaged in the play. All right, pause it. This play here, I want you to watch Henry Smith and trail. There's nothing about this play except for fundamentally sound trail officiating. Watch what he does as the shot goes up. Pause it. First thing he does is he steps one step down to get an angle, and then he keeps going to make sure that he's got backside help. Okay? He's not backing out. That's the key message here. Go ahead. Pause this. Or don't pause it. All right, pause it. So when I talked to you before about you only have one game, right? I want to see hustle. I want to know how did he get from here to where he's about to get to? Go ahead. I mean, he's there. What we don't want to see is somebody home run trotting in to lead, or right across the end line as the ball's already going out of bounds. He's there. He's pointing. It shows a lot. Okay. All right, go ahead. All right, pause it. When you see this play, if you rewind it back and then pause it at the same place, Mike. What should go through your mind? Henry's got the foul, and we're not going to shoot bonus, so we're going to put the ball back on the end line. What's the first thing you should think about?
You got two guys on the ground. You want to make sure everybody gets up.
Two guys on the ground. Make sure everybody gets up. Donovan?
Spot.
Spot?
Spot of the foul.
Spot of the foul.
Who's going to be here?
Okay. Do we know whether or not this player could run the end line or not? So go ahead and play through. So before the throw-in, they had the right to run the end line. Henry calls a foul. Now Adam comes over because he's a rules guy. And he says he can still run the end line. Pause it. Why can he still run the end line?
Well, the throw-in didn't end.
The throw-in didn't end. It wasn't what? Legally touched.
Inbounds, yeah.
Wasn't legally touched in bounds when the foul occurred. Therefore, they're not going to lose their right to run the end line. Same thing if they kick the ball, right? If they kick the ball, we're not going to take away the right to run the end line. All right, so it was a good pickup by Adam. It's just good teamwork. And you're going to hear later, I'm going to tell you guys to have courage. Have courage to go up to your partner and say, hey, he can still run the end line, right? Or, hey, Kevin, I think he was shooting. I think he was shooting before that. Or, hey, Vitz, I know you're giving him 2 shots, but he passed it off. Marvin?
One of the things you should emphasize there is that if that foul occurs, it depends on where the ball was supposed to be put into play.
Yes.
The foul that happened on the sideline instead.
If it happened outside the 3-point arc, we put it on the sideline, then, you can't run the sideline. But because it goes back to the end line, it still has the right to run. Okay, go ahead. Pause it, yes?
You can't run on the sideline?
No.
So how can we have officials that tell kids when they hand the ball on the spot?
That's a good point. Next.
Because some players will move up there. That's fine.
All right, pause this. All right, what I wanted to show you here was Jay does a really good job in trail of staying. We have a double whistle on this play, but he stays in the play. All right, go ahead. All right, here's another play where I want you to watch Jay in trail, and what does he do incorrectly?
Takes off.
Starts taking off. Just stay engaged. And by the way, Jay's fast enough. Now I'm a little different, but I just had knee surgery, so I got a new knee, and I think we're on our way. All right, pause that play and rewind it back, please. And you can stop it after he does his signal. Okay, so what do you think happens here? First of all, based on what Mike was saying, should Patrick really have this whistle? Right? I mean, McAndrew's right here. I think Dave can pick up that play. But be that as it may, Patrick comes over and gets the foul. All right. Now, what signal does he do? Go ahead and just let it roll. All right. Now pause it. So what do you think that he's saying? What? Spot throwing, right? Not shooting. But if you rewind it back, what do you think that kid's trying to do? Tap it in. Have courage. Go to your partners and just say, hey, this is what I have. Go ahead and rewind it through or forward it through. All right, it's just good teamwork. Very handsome official, by the way. Thank you. I'll be here all the week. You got to have communication on the court. You don't know how important that is when we're evaluating you. Hey, Andre. We're evaluating you, and so like if Andre's on the court and he's evaluating you, and you let that go, and you don't stop and talk to your partner, that's going to stick out to him. Okay, the varsity official doesn't have a problem going up to his partner and saying, "Hey, here's what I saw." Now we may change. We may say, "No, I'm going to stick with my call." That's fine. That's on whoever's on the court. You know, Patrick could have said, "I got the push before the hit." Okay, no problem. But that conversation needs to happen before we get to a point where we're shooting and now we don't know. The other thing I see happen, I'm going to have Irv walk up here because he's doing the next set on center position. One thing I see a lot happening is we have a double whistle, all right? And so if David Gaskins and I have a double whistle, right, and we both go up and I say, oh, he's got it, all right, and if he does the same thing, what do you think just happened? What do we forget?
Number. The foul.
Who's the foul? Yeah. By the way, hey, who's your shooter, big guy? Right? Because I'm like, oh, well, he's got it. It's already out of my mind. Stay engaged. Stay focused mentally. Think about those kind of plays. That's where you lose your shooter. Billy.
Hey, Mike, can you replay the back again? Look at the trail position. Just a little bit up here.
You start to bail a little bit, he's going to get you.
I start to bail? Yeah.
I'll go get you first, but I couldn't.
Yeah. No, I'm not getting away with it.
Yeah, then he has the unmitigated gall to go in.
I was going to let you have it.
Bill, see me afterwards, would you?
I didn't want to interrupt.
But it's a good catch. I was bailing out, right? So, you know, look, we're all going to make mistakes. Let's learn from them, okay? Whether it's my game or anybody else's game. And then there's a couple of plays in Mike's game. I sent him a note, you know, in his state playoff game. I'm like, who had that foul, or who should have had that foul? You know, on a block charge play. I mean, we're always. And by the way, we're friendly about it, but we do get after each other a little bit. You know, be like, oh, nice signal, Mike. You know, something like that. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Irv and let him go through center, and then Adam's going to go through lead.
I need that, Mark. Oh, yeah.
Do you need the center clips, by the way?
Yeah, those ones that you were showing yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we going to your PowerPoint first?
Right. Right. Okay. How you doing, Ryan? Doing all right? Danny? Good. Okay, center position. This is probably one of my favorite positions in the three-person crew. I like the center position and talk about being strong and knowing where to be and what to look for from the center position is what I want to talk about. First, talk about some angles. I can use
tap the screen. Yeah, that will move
to the slide. Okay.
It's on the first side of it.
Okay. All right, so everyone, you should know what your primary or your PCA coverage area is for the center position. It's, can you hear me? It's spelled out here, but I'm not going to read through it. Your primary area of coverage is basically that half of the lane or that side of the floor on the C side, which is what the position that you'll be covering. Go to the next slide. We'll talk about Mike, I'm not good at your phone here. Here we go. The curl play. This is one of the plays where you can be very aggressive and get calls where the lead or trail won't be able to get that play. And the curl play basically is if lead is here, we have trail center here. If the play comes from, say, the post area, and that offensive player turns into the lane this way, that's a great opportunity for the C to grab that play and make that call. Because you have the best look, and especially if there's nothing going on in your area, you have like passive matchups, you can come and get that play. And again, talking about having courage, don't be afraid to come and get it. That's a great pickup to get. Now, and then also, anytime plays that come across the lane, not just necessarily from the post play, but anything that comes across in here, if someone comes across and they catch a pass or something, they're going to turn to shoot the basketball, that's a great look to get. If you have that best look and you have that great angle, kid gets hit on the arm, you want to pick that up and get that play. Because you're going to save the crew by getting that. If you don't get it, lead and trail are not going to be able to get that play. So it's best for you to get any kind of curl plays that come across or opens up into the lane. Get those plays. You have the best look. If you have that look, have the courage, don't be afraid to pick up those plays, because those are the plays that you can get from the center position. Especially, again, if you have passive matchups on your side, or even if there's no matchups there at all, come and get those plays. Let's see. Rebounding. Always step down, and I've heard Scott talk about stepping down. Even as a center, you want to step down. Sometimes you might want to take a step this way to get a good look. That one clip that I think Alex Leap came across from the C and got that play, that was a great aggressive center play to get. Because had he not gotten that play or made that foul call, lead or trail would never have made it. He had the best look. Even though he was here, he still had the best look across the lane to get that play. So again, step in, be aggressive, get those plays, because those are the type of plays that you want to get. That stuff is going to happen. You're going to have illegal screens. You're going to have off-ball stuff that's going to happen from center that are perfect for you to get. What's that? The holdings, displacements, any of those types of things. We have some clips, I think Scott or Mike, whoever's going to show them, where officials have coming in and getting the illegal screens, holds, what's that, what was that one that you got in the South Lakes game? Yeah, the hip check, the tripod screen is what they call. So those are good ones to get. Let's see, center, transition plays from the center position. So when you were in transition as center, and I remember working at Mike Eads' camp. I was at Mike Eads' camp, and I kept doing this from the center. And he came over behind me and he said, "When is Easter?" We're in June. And I'm like, "Easter?" It's like Easter was a couple months ago, so we don't need bunny hops. So, and ever since he told me, from your center position in transition, you want to go from here, because you've got everything coming down in transition from foul line extended to the opposite end foul line, sideline to sideline. So you want to be aggressive as a C to pick up anything that happens in this area of the court. So his thing was, if you're like a bunny, you got your eyes moving up and down, so you're going to miss something. So it's best to go from your old C position, going in transition, turn, make that run, and you're looking at the pack that's going down the floor. So if anything happens, you can come and get it. Step in and get those across the floor, because you have anything from sideline to sideline, all the way across, foul line extended, to pick up anything that happens. Okay? And I know Easter's not in June, but I didn't know what the heck he was talking about until he explained it to me. So it made a lot of sense. And ever since then, I stopped doing that bunny hopping. And that's one of my pet peeves. I know Adam has a lot of pet peeves, but that's one of my pet peeves. When I see people do that, I try to correct them and say, look, it's best to, because your eyes are moving. You see better if you're running as if you're running a 100-yard dash. let's see. So does that make sense, everybody? So you have everything from foul line, extended, sideline, down the floor. Let's see, I'm going pretty quick here. Did I talk about rebounding? I think I passed that slide.
Step down.
Did I pass that? Yeah. There we go. Oh, is that it? There we go. Thank you, Mike. And I talked about stepping down. These are also good ones to get because a lot of times on rebound plays, the lead is not going to be able to pick up rebounds that happen in the lane. The best bet is for us to have the trail or center get those rebounding plays because there's going to be stuff that the lead is not going to be able to get because he's not looking up, whereas the center and trail can pick up those things. So again, be aggressive. If there's anything happening in the lane, let's make sure we help out the lead by getting those. You know, those pushes in the back, displacements. I think Scott had one in his game, but he was the lead. But it would have been good if the outside officials would have gotten it, where the defender had displaced the offensive player, just backed him all the way out. It was good that Scott got it because he saved the crew on that, whereas the outside officials didn't get it. So those type of plays, we want to make sure we get those from the center. The last slide, just three-person terminology. You know, you'll hear a lot of this stuff at SEP. You'll hear a lot of us talk about, well, we know what all these are. Sometimes some of us officials call the center the slot. So that's something that, you know, we'll hear a lot of that, but let's make sure we call it the right terminology. It's the center position. The PCA is your primary coverage area. Close down, always make sure you close down. I'm not going to go through all of them, but they're there for you to help you. So that way, when you hear these terminologies, you'll know what we're talking about at SEP. Double whistles. The one that comes up a lot that I like to talk about is having game awareness, especially when it gets to a point of the game where it's 2 minutes left in the game. It's a real close ball game. That's the time we need to come together and start talking about certain things that may happen in the game. I know it was a West Potomac game. I think it was West Potomac, not the one that was Dave and Andrew, but it was another game where we came together and we start talking about who has the next arrow, who's shooting. I mean, the other team has so many fouls to give. So you want to come together and make sure we are all on the same page because that's the time and that's the moment when you get paid your big bucks. Donovan.
Do you mind going over like the ball side, strong, weak side on the sides? You mind going over those a little bit?
Well, the weak side would be the center position. Ball side is when you have the lead and trail both on the same side of the floor. So you have lead, trail, ball side. If the ball's here, should have it. Should, unless there's no rotation. And of course, table side is the side of the floor where the table is, which maybe the C could be on table side or lead and trail could be on the table side. Hopefully that's the case. Ed?
Do you want to talk about if the ball goes from trail side over to the center side? What does that center then do? You don't want them looking backwards to where the ball is.
So you're saying if the ball goes from, say, here
Over there to the left, yeah.
to here or here?
Yeah.
So if the ball goes here?
Yeah.
Okay, so whose coverage area is this? If the ball's here?
Well, let's think about that for a second. What if we have an engaged matchup where we have
Let me
close
erase
target
some of these
count?
lines.
Yeah, right. So the trail's going to stay on that play. I would also say that we want to make sure that if you are the trail on that play, that you're coming out.
That's what I was going to say.
You're gonna almost trail this player, so the center knows that you have it, and you're really, going high with your counts. That way, the center knows, oh, he's got it. I'll just look over here.
And that way you won't have 4 eyes on the ball.
He does that and goes back to his spot.
But also when the ball comes over, be aware and see that the lead may rotate.
C can force you.
That's a really good point because the lead may come over even though the trail has the count, right? And so
Then the C.
what's really important, and this is where pregame comes in, really handy, is being able to have this conversation and say, if this happens, we have to know who's going. Now, I will tell you in my pregames, I will tell you that if it's me and I have to go down to C, I'm going to hold up my finger so that the trail knows I'm going and the opposite official knows I'm going.